Hello and welcome to Anjan Kumar India, and I am Anjan Kumar. Hope you are all fine. We were doing bookshelf tour of my books, and we were looking at autobiographies. That too, we started with spiritual autobiographies. So today we have the last bunch under the section spiritual autobiographies. We will continue with that. And before we proceed, a small request from my side. If you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. It just takes a moment for you, but it helps me a lot. And if you like the video, please press like and share it with your friends. So that's my request to you. And to go ahead with this bookshelf tour, we have two books of Rabindranath Tagore. One is autobiography proper, and the other one almost like an autobiography. So this one, Rabindranath Tagore, My Reminiscences. So this was written in 1911 when Tagore was 50-year-old. He calls it Memory Pictures. So this was published in the year 1917. It was written in 1911 but published in 1917 by Macmillan. And it gives details of his earlier life as a young child, young adult, his initial literary efforts, his travels, his meeting with many people. So I have read this book, it's very good. So if you are interested, you can read this book. And few lines about Tagore, I'll read it out. Though best known as a poet, Tagore was a remarkable and prolific short story writer, novelist, dramatist, and essayist, as well as an innovative painter and composer of songs. He was also a public figure who used to give speeches fearlessly about public issues, and he was a great patriot. And for his literary efforts, he won Nobel Prize for Literature. He was the first one to win a Nobel Prize from Asia, and he is a household name in India because his song, that is our India's national anthem, is being sung throughout India every day by children. It is taken from Gitanjali, Janaganamana. So everybody knows that song. So that way he will be remembered every day throughout India. So that's Rabindranath Tagore, a very nice autobiography. And the second book, this is from Penguin, Rabindranath Tagore, My Life in My Words. So this is selected and edited with an introduction by Uma Das Gupta. So I have not yet read this book. So regarding this book, the paper, the Hindu, says a seamless interweaving reminiscences, memoirs, letters, and public lectures, a reliable and honest guide to Rabindranath's life in his own words, as could ever be attempted. So that's what the Hindu says about this book. So both books seem to be very good. So if you get a chance, please do read it. Next one is Freedom in Exile. So this is the autobiography of Dalai Lama of Tibet, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. So his Holiness Dalai Lama won Nobel Peace Prize. And I have read this book, it's very good. And just to give this is a very strange book, peculiar book. Just to give an idea, I read a few lines. In 1938, a 2-year-old boy was recognized through a traditional process of discovery as being the reincarnation of all previous Dalai Lamas, the spiritual rulers of Tibet. Taken away from his parents, he was brought up in Lhasa according to a monastic regimen of rigorous austerity and in almost total isolation. Aged 7, he was enthroned in the 1,000-room Potala Palace as the supreme spiritual leader of a nation the size of Western Europe, with a population of 6 million. And at 15, he became head of state. So soon after that, Chinese forces will occupy Tibet, and he escapes from Tibetan occupation. He takes asylum in India. At that time, Jawaharlal Nehru was Prime Minister of India. It became a very sensitive issue, a thorny issue between India and China, this issue of Dalai Lama. But Nehru manages all those details are explained here, all those meetings, those struggles and everything. And he continues to stay in India even to this day. Recently he completed 90 years. He celebrated 90th birthday. And being in India as a spiritual and political head of Tibetan people, he will not do any political activity from here. He travels worldwide and meets all world leaders, and for his efforts he won the Nobel Peace Prize. So lot of interesting stories are here, lot of history and some philosophy also. So those who are interested in such matters can read this book, Freedom in Exile, Autobiography of Dalai Lama. Next book is even stranger, peculiar, and this is Autobiography of Osho. How peculiar it is, you can make out from the title itself, Autobiography of a Spiritually Incorrect Mystic. So I have not read this book. I have not read any of Osho's literature by him or about him. But I was curious about this particular book, Autobiography, because I was interested in how he was able to influence so many people for so long. So that's the Osho's autobiography. And he was earlier known as Acharya Rajneesh. Later towards the end he was called Osho. And about this book, I think these few lines will give you an idea. A delightful glimpse into the life of one of the most outrageous 20th century spiritual leaders. Entertaining, insightful, and for some, perhaps even enlightening. So that's what book list has to say about this book. So I am definitely going to read this for just curiosity's sake. So if not for any enlightenment. It said Osho has read widely but not deeply. I don't know. I will read this and I'll let you know. So that's about Osho's autobiography. Next we have a book, a Kannada book. I wish it's translated to English and other languages. I checked whether it's translated to other languages. I don't think. I didn't get a positive answer. So the title of the book is Matturji Jeevanagate, Sumana Vishwanath, published by Prism. So this is about the life of Mattur Krishnamurti. So Mattur Krishnamurti was became very popular towards in the 1980s and later. So though it's written by Sumana Vishwanath, it's written in first person, as if Matturji himself is written it. Mattur Krishnamurti, he was born in, again, a strange village, a remarkable village I should say. This is Mattur. It's from Shimoga district of Karnataka. It's the only village in India, maybe in the world, where people do converse in only Sanskrit. So that's the speciality of this village. So Mattur Krishnamurti is from such village. He was born into a very poor family, and he goes to Chennai. At that time it was called Madras. So there he stays at his sister's place, doing his high school studies. At that time something eventful happens. Mahatma Gandhi visits Chennai for about more than 30 days, and he was very much interested to see Mahatma Gandhi. Meanwhile, there was a advertisement in the Hindu paper calling for volunteers. He readily gives his name, but he will be rejected because he was not able to speak Hindi. So he was very crestfallen. He comes back home and within 1 week he learns Hindi, goes back to them and tells them, I have learned Hindi, I want to volunteer. So they were pleasantly surprised, and they take him as a volunteer and put him in charge of Mahatma Gandhi's camp. So that way he spends more than a month with Mahatma Gandhi. So this book is full of such stories. So he has read very little. That is, education is very little. He is a self-educated person, a self-made man, and he was well versed in scriptures also. He goes on to become the head of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan in London and later in Bangalore also. So his Gamakas, which was telecast through television, became very famous. And this book is full of such stories, and there is something special. This I bought it as a second-hand book, and here author's autograph is there. So this was, I will just read it out in Kannada. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ರಂಗನಾಥ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಒಪ್ಪಿಸುವ ಮತ್ತೂರು ಕೃಷ್ಣಮೂರ್ತಿ. Date also it's given 23rd December 2007. So the recipient of this gift was Sri Ranganath, who was Chief Secretary to Government of Karnataka. He was highly regarded and highly respected by people of Karnataka. He was called Karma Yogi. So such a person, this book was given, and somehow it has come to my hand. I purchased it in a second-hand bookshop. But book is very good. So this can be a textbook or a reference material for those people who are interested in self-improvement and personality development, both for students and teachers also. A very good book, Mattur Krishnamurthy. But since many North Indians used to come into contact with him, the name Matturji became very popular, and the book title itself, they have kept it as Matturji. A very good book. So if you get a chance, please buy this book and keep it with you. So very nice book. Please do read this. So that is about Mattur Krishnamurthy's autobiography. Next book is A Search in Secret India by Dr. Paul Brunton. Dr. Paul Brunton, he was a Britisher, an Englishman. He was a journalist and an author. So he becomes interested in spirituality, and he visits India, and he travels widely in India, and he meets all sorts of people, starting from snake charmers, magicians, to realized people. So this book contains all his meetings, travels, and other things, and it also contains photos such as Master Mahashaya, one of the chief householder disciples of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and here Sharda Devi's photo also. I have read this book. I don't remember in what context these photos have appeared in this book. So I think I have read it twice. I have to read it again. Very good book. And he has written other books also about Indian philosophy, such things. This list is there. I have read at least one book, The Quest of the Overself. That's very long back. I don't remember the details. But about this book, I remember some vague topics. A very nice book, and towards the end of his search, yes, this is title is A Search in Secret India. So he was searching for truth. So towards the end, he comes into contact Ramana Maharshi of Tiruvannamalai. So there, his desire is fulfilled. So he spends time with Ramana Maharshi, and all his questions were answered. So he will have peace at his feet. So one more thing, when Paramahansa Yogananda visits Ramana Maharshi somewhere in November 1935, so this Paul Brunton will also be present. I have seen videos, that is both still pictures and movie pictures of that visit. So along with Paramahansa Yogananda You can see Ramana Maharshi and Dr. Paul Brunton also. And he has explained in his own words many truths, many realizations. So, a very good book. So, if you are interested in such subjects, please do read this. It's a very good book, worth keeping it in your library. And the last book in this section, a very famous book. It said two books, that is two biographies in entire world, that is sold in large numbers. Biographies of two people. One is Abraham Lincoln and the other one is Mahatma Gandhi. So this is an autobiography, and this is a famous autobiography. At least everybody in India would have studied a part of it or the entire book in school or college. So if you have not read it, please read this book. I feel every Indian should have this book, should read this book at least, and better to have this book at home also. So this I have included in spiritual autobiographies because the person, person himself is a very spiritual person. He is called a political saint. That's how Yogananda refers to him, as a political saint. And this autobiography, actually it was written originally in Gujarati, just to fill a magazine, a weekly magazine. He started writing it in a serial mode. So everything they clubbed together and made it a book, and it end somewhere in 1920s. At the end he says, from this point onwards my life has become so public that there is nothing I have to tell. So that's how he ends that book. So here in this book, he tells about his childhood, his studies both in India and abroad, his life in detail in South Africa, he is coming back to India, and his observations, and his starting of freedom movement. So both from history point of and language point of view also, and as a spiritual course also, we can read this book. Very good book, and language is very good. It was written in Gujarati, later it was translated to English by Mahatma Gandhi's secretary, Mahadev Desai. English is so simple, so fluent. You will not feel it's a translated work. And I have Kannada book also. Again, this was translated into Kannada by Goruru Ramaswamy Iyengar, a very famous literary figure, a very popular and beloved to the people of Karnataka. And again, language is very good. Both English version and Kannada version, both I have read. Both you will never feel it is a translated work. It looks so original and very easy going, very easy reading type. So I request everybody to read this book, and that's why I included it in spiritual autobiographies. And it's said about Mahatma Gandhi, calling him as a saint. There are two types of saints. One qualitative and the other one is quantitative. So qualitative, okay. If you consider quality wise, it's said after Jesus Christ, it's Mahatma Gandhi who was able to influence people in spiritual mode, spiritual methods in such a large numbers. So that's why he was called political saint. So that's about Mahatma Gandhi. So with this, we come to the end of spiritual autobiographies. So I have some more books which can also be put in spiritual autobiographies, but I have kept it separately because this has become too long. Many people are asking, you are giving very brief details about these books. So I would like to clarify. This is just a tour of my bookshelf. That is just to show what are the books I have, and the main purpose of it is that just to make you aware such type of books are also available. Because see, this Osho's book, I was not knowing it is available, and many people may not be aware of Dalai Lama's autobiography also. And many people would have not have heard of Search in Secret India by Paul Brunton, Dr. Paul Brunton. And this is a very good book, we cannot miss Mathurji. So such great books are there. So at least if I am not aware of all the books, but whatever books I have come across, I just want to share with you. So that's my purpose. So this is just to show these are all the books I am having. These are all the books which can be purchased, maybe found in libraries also. At least if you are aware of the titles, you can go in search of it. And all books are worth reading it. So that's why I started this tour of bookshelf. So later I will come with review of books where once I read it, I'll make points and I'll share it with you. So this is just a tour of my bookshelf. So here I am not supposed to, or I cannot afford to dwell more about these books. So that's about this bookshelf tour. So I have finished the Spiritual Autobiographies. Next I have autobiographies from India, both political and otherwise, India and subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, that is Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar. So then I have many books about American autobiographies, American people, personalities. Then I have some books about Europe. That is, I have Mandela's book, Churchill's book, Tony Blair, many such people, and Europe and other major personalities in the world. Then in the end I have, last but not least, Kannada books, Kannada autobiographies, Atmakathegulu. Very good collection I have. All that I am going to show you in subsequent episodes. So with that we come to end of this episode. Thanks for your time. Please keep visiting and do subscribe to my channel. And thanks again for visiting, for your time. So have a good weekend. So thank you for being with me. Please do keep visiting my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye bye.